Bloody lights ran out. Lights turned off up there. Well, the jackets came off, the hoods came off. I gotta cover my eyes watching the rest of that game there because it was just painfully obvious what was going to happen unless you're Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe seemed to be one of the only people in the world that couldn't see what was about to unfold, and that was another Dan Burn foul, another yellow card, and another penalty that this time was given. Now, with Eddie Howe, I've defended him a lot, on this rant video last week because you can rinse and repeat it. This time last week, we went to London and took a 1-0 lead and got battered 3-1. Same things happened 2 weeks in a row against two average sides. Let's be honest. And it's going to be toxic tonight for Eddie Howe. I think you can see it already on social media. You can see our page is scrolling along the bottom there now. You can have a look and drop your feelings and the thoughts on there. That's the whole point of those, just to see how the fan base is feeling and so people can have a bit crack with each other and whatnot. The same in the comments here. And there's a lot of comments on that live watch along about, Eddie Howe, could be it, could be time up and all that. I get it out of the way for me. It's not time out for me at all. I think he's got way too much credit in the bank. There's no way I'm Eddie Howe out. So, that's not going to be the case in this video. But that is inexcusable today. And that's the first time where I've looked at it and thought, that is terrible. Not the first time I looked at it and thought terrible in terms of Eddie Howe and what he's doing. Like I say, I'm not going to come on here and go Eddie Howe out and all the rest of it and rant and rave on that part, but I will most definitely rant and rave on the embarrassing decision-making or lack of. As I said at the start of the show, he's the only person that I can think of, because I was saying it, I'm screaming out saying, get Burn off, we'll get away with the first yellow card and pen. That could have went 50-50. I thought it was a penalty, if I'm being honest. We'll get away with that one. Eddie Howe's constantly leaving his favourites on the pitch. Dan Burn at left back, you've asked him to play, 9-10 games in a row now at left back when he's not a left back. He can do a job there for a bit. Lewis Hall is fit now. We've seen him against Bilbao. We've seen him tonight nearly get an assist when he came on. Play Lewis Hall. Even if he comes on at half-time, even if he came on in 55, 60 minutes before the disaster took place, get him off and get a left back on. It's the favoritism, it's the stubbornness that could cost him his job. The way he's going on, this is inexcusable, and it is absolutely pathetic and embarrassing to be 2 points above the relegation zone. I've got Saeed from Man United chatting to me, tagging me and stuff. Got Matisse, Chelsea, got all these people saying to me, Newcastle fans, Sunderland fans, and Liverpool fans, everybody on our back, to be honest. Like I said, Newcastle fans, our own, saying Eddie Howe's got to go because of how poor this is. It is inexcusable, man. You can't leave Dan Burn on there, a left back who's getting absolutely shafted every single time by Dango. Itara is having his life. Every single passage of play, he's nowhere. And this isn't even a criticism of Dan Burn, really. He's 33. He's 6'6". He's a centre back and a brilliant one at that. He's fantastic last season. He's doing well in the England setup. He can't be getting played at left back. Not against these wingers that are full of pace and power. Itara's going to have a field day. Most of the athletic Premier League wingers will. And he's constantly getting targeted. And I actually feel sorry for him. And I feel sorry for him because it's Eddie Howe that's keeping him there. It's Eddie Howe that he hasn't had a choice in some aspects with Lewis Hall being out injured and 2-0 in Fermento as well. I think you've got to find something different to do. And then when Hall's on the bench and we're seeing he came on against Bilbao in the Champions League and looked good and looked bright and looked fit, and again today when he eventually got a chance, it's too little too late. How can you not learn from mistakes? How can you not see what is about to take place? We had seen the future. We had the fucking Minority Report. It was right there. Tom Cruise staring down the lens. It's going to be another penalty. It's going to be another booking. He will get sent off. Brentford will score and we will get beat, Eddie. How did he not see that? The only person in the world that couldn't see it. I don't get it. Everyone in the chat and the live watch along, I was saying it, social media, everyone was saying, bloody hell, got away with that penalty and VAR decision. Best get Burn off now then. Nah, we'll just keep him on. Rinse and repeat. It's like we wanted to fucking lose that game to me. It's like Eddie Howe it was absolute self-sabotage. It was absolute self-sabotage. It was totally self-inflicted wounds, that game. It really was. It really was. Listen, we weren't even good. No shots on target in the second half. No shots on target in the second half, man. Voldemort may as well be sitting here in my fucking house doing this video with me because he can't get anywhere near the ball. He does drop deep to get the ball. He does try and bring things forward, but he's getting no service. Hey, he's nowhere near it in terms of, and it's not, again, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. You know, he's dropping deep, trying to make things happen. He's got lovely first touches, great assist for Barnes' goal. But he's not getting involved, but nobody's getting involved. What on earth is happening in this midfield? We were saying this is the best midfield in the league. Tonali, forget your Caicedos and your races. Captain Bruno, Big Joe Linton, the battering ram, goes off for these fucking child chin pads, and he's knackered. Tonali, poor game. Bruno's sloppy again. Midfield is non-existent. Chow's doing amazing, but again, a bit of a mistake on his behalf at the end there. Ends up falling to Thiago, who finishes it, but Botmans doesn't even know he's there. So that's falling to pieces. The wingers, Harvey Barnes, brilliant goal. Did his man there, you know, drop two of them down, cut back in, fantastic strike, and you go 1-0 up at half-time, you think, right, surely you can't fuck this up. Surely you can't be like last Sunday. You can't throw the towel in like this again. You can't. But we could, and we did. And it got worse and worse and worse. It really did. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how you can be 1-0 up and absolutely cock it up for the second game running. Because apparently, this was going to be the kick up the arse that we needed. West Ham last week. That's going to be the catalyst for change. Just like Brentford was, actually. We got embarrassed at Brentford last year, 4-2. And then we went on a 9-10 game winning run. If we don't do that again, we are absolutely knackered. 2 points above the relegation zone. For me, I said it after we got beat off West Ham last week. I said Premier League season scrapped. And even though the table is still tight, and yes, we're 2 points off relegation zone, sitting in 14th, we're still only 6 points off, 7 points off, whatever it is, of top 5. But this team, and away from home, you can't beat West Ham and Brentford. Don't tell me with the fixtures we've got remaining, we're going to go away to these top 6 clubs and beat them away. No chance, man. So it looks like it is going to be one of those seasons where we are massively focused on the Cups and on the Champions League, because the mad thing is, we're 6th in the Champions League and we're bloody bottom 6 in the Premier League. How the hell has that happened? It's just away from home, we look terrible. Away from home, we've got no confidence, no belief, no creativity. And what is it, 1 shot on target? We just never look like scoring a goal. We never look like creating enough chances. We never look dangerous. And then you've got Eddie Howe, who's just so reluctant to make a change, whether that's to the system, the formation, the personnel, the substitutions. It is unacceptable to do that. Like, it's terrible. I said in the live watch along, they should be refunding them fans. Like, gone all the way down to London again, 2 weeks in a row to get embarrassed. Spending the Remembrance Sunday, travelling all the way down to the capital to watch that. Should be reimbursed. Genuinely should be. Honestly, there's so much I could get into. I think we need to go into this more next week as well. I can't even be bothered to continue to whinge too much, to be fair. You can see bits of the watch along for that. It's just really, really bad, and it's the worst it's been in years for me. Eddie Howe had his 4-year anniversary yesterday. That's the worst I've ever seen, even including last year when we got beat Brentford away. Even what was it, Brighton 3-0 as well the year before that, or even that same season. I can't remember now. We've had some bad results and stuff, but the day with the lack of vision to see what was going to happen, to see the inevitable penalty or red card, or even just giving a goal away, getting found out, getting caught out, being miles behind, it's just frightening. I'm actually worried at how Eddie Howe, Tyndall, anyone on the bench there didn't think, right, yeah, we should probably make some changes. Yeah, what about Lewis Hall, an actual left back? What about a keeper? Because, Nick Pope keeps on trying to punch the ball and he can't get anywhere fucking near it. It's a strange one, Nick Pope, because he actually goes on to make one or two good saves, and he actually does start catching the ball. Then he goes off with concussion or whatever it was. Ramsdale comes on just in time for the penalty. It's like, this is a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute shit show. We're all over the gaff, man. How Ramsdale, again, this goes back to Eddie Howe, these favourites and the stubbornness, and it could cost him, man, because it's just unnecessary. Very unnecessary keeping Dan Burn on and not bringing Lewis Hall on. It's very unnecessary continuing to play Nick Pope when, he's made some big errors at important times. Yeah. So Hall not coming on. Ramsdale not maybe coming on. Elanga. Again, Elanga's coming on with about 5 minutes to go. So what do you expect me to do with 10 men? And listen, Elanga hasn't been good at all. It's been a disastrous signing, to be fair, that one. Same with Wissa. We should have just signed that Thiago. What did we sign Wissa for? Thiago looks brilliant. 55 million, a 29-year-old. We're nearly 2-3 months into him being here and he hasn't kicked the ball. He hasn't even got on the training pitch with the lads yet. That's just purely unlucky, but, it's research as well, though. Maybe it should have got to the point where I was like, our 50 million for a 29-year-old. Maybe we should look elsewhere. We can see Elanga's fucking 0 goals, 0 assists in 16 matches. Ramsey came off the bench today for Joe Linton, 40-odd million. Looked all right, but again, are we really moving the needle here with these signings that have cost a lot of money? Malmo. Apparently, where's the project? And Boom was flying. Well, I mean, yeah. Boomer is doing well. I wish we had signed the Boomer, especially over Elanga. And Man U doing all right in the league, but I think they're still 7th, aren't they? So I wouldn't say that's flying. And you got beat off Grimsby. So at least we're in the Champions League. I don't know what else more to say, really. We did a lot of it in the watch along with the game as it was going on, but it's just it's really, we could see it happening live, what was going to play out, and it's just really worrying the way we look as a team, because we don't look like a team. We don't look like scoring. We don't look like doing anything. And we're just getting found out and away from home. Absolutely woeful. Really is woeful. Really, really is. Really, really bad. The lack of effort, lack of desire. Be interesting to see what comes out from tonight. But, we had Captain Bruno, with his Instagram stories last week saying, we're sorry, we need you forevermore during the week. Big game at St. James Park. I've never got any doubts at St. James Park. But even that, I got called negative in my match reaction against Bilbao. What you whinging for? We won 2-0. Because the scoreline was just basic, because the game was basic, but Bilbao were basic. We were crap on Wednesday as well. People just didn't want to hear it. You're burying your head in the stands. You really are. I mean, we haven't really played that well all season, to be honest with you. But we're getting things done in the Champions League. Carabao have played well, actually. That was the weird thing about West Ham last week. We did well against Spurs with the changes we made, and then we went to West Ham and played that bad. But everyone miles off at the day, and it's the case of like, well, at least it's the international break. But on the other hand, you've now got to stew over this successive loss away from home in the league for the next 2 weeks. And then guess what? Just Man City next. At least it's at home, but it's still Man City. And then Marseille away. Everton away. Anyone away. Because we're absolutely away from home. Kennedy now away from home. Aye. it's a tough one to take the day. Like, I could lose the plot a lot more. I think I showed glimpses of that throughout, like, and definitely on the watch along, I lost it. I just had to fucking put my hood up and just couldn't even because it just knew what was going to happen. Just seen it coming a mile off, and it was just so crap, so crap. But aye, it's a tough one. This, like, let us see what's happening on here because yeah, a lot of people saying how out, to be honest with you. My replies on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, you just can see it for yourself. And like I say, I said at the start of the show, I'm not going to be how out. Definitely not. Um, too much credit in the bank for me. Win the trophy, getting Champions League qualifications, but you cannot keep on doing this. I'm trying not to lose the plot. You kind of keep on doing this with the starting lineups and the lack of subs and the in-game management. You know, there's some silly, poor decisions being made, and this form and these results certainly can't carry on away from home or just in the league in general. Because you look at the league in general, we always start the Premier League slow as well, to be honest. At least last season we were picking up results, but, you know, we've been bad at home. Last minute winner against Fulham, and, you know, just not looking convincing. I can't remember the last time I watched a Newcastle game, and this season at least anyways, and thought, solid that, good win that, fancy that. Apart from, you know, they say these Champions League, but some of these Champions League teams are crap, man. Bilbao during the week. We gave them loads of chances and space as well. And I said it in my reaction, like, on Wednesday night. If that's Brentford, we're going to get punished. And we did the same thing against Brentford. And we got punished. So it's very worrying. Howe definitely needs to start being a bit more ruthless for me and a bit more adventurous. But at the minute, I'm not going to go into that how out stuff because you know what it is? It's this time last year, we had a very similar thing going on. And it was actually Brentford away as well, 4-2. And then we went to win 9 or 10 games in a row and turned our season around. Let's hope we can do it again. You shouldn't have to be honest. But yeah, with Champions League football as well, and the injuries we've got, it's hard to see it. Hard to see it, to be honest. We'll go on for another 2 minutes, round it up to 20 minutes. See what the comments are saying. Klopp in. See, there's someone there. Klopp's never going to take any other job in England apart from Liverpool. Has Howe lost the players' confidence? It's a good question by Reece, to be honest. It's a solid question. No one can answer that apart from those that are in there, really. You can guess and that, but I'd hope not yet, like, with how the relationships he's built in there and what he's done for a lot of those players, improved every single one of them, really. But with that sort of game management, I think you're losing fans. I can see you using the comments, 800 people watching. A lot of them are saying it. You know, you're losing fans' confidence. So the players, what was Ramsdale, Hall, Alanga, all these be thinking, like, give us a chance, man, please. Everyone else is doing nothing. Just give us a shot. He doesn't give anyone a shot. Week in, week out. Dan Burn, left back. Go on then. Like, come on, man. You have to fucking mix things up. Get Mourinho in. I'd rather have Almiron back than Alanga, says Lewis. Wow. Need Wissa back to contribute. Bring Steve Bruce back. I tell you what, the last 2 away Premier League games have been proper Brucey specials. They really have. They've been absolute Brucey ball specials. Will we have a new manager by the Mac game? No, we won't. I think Eddie Howe will be given a lot of time by the owners. Seems to be losing a lot of the fan base. If we're going off this video and social media and the comments and stuff. But the owners, I think Eddie Howe would have probably this season, you know, unless it got really bad. We got knocked out of the cups and we're still, you know, floating around that relegation zone. But yeah, I think he'll be given a long time, to be honest. If not at the end of the season, at least a few months. Or if we continued losing every week and it got to the Sunderland game, we got beat off them, that could be close to being to the edge, like. This is also true, and we don't want to focus on that, but I think the turbulent summer has definitely had a downing effect on this season, without a doubt. Listen, Voldemort came in, hit the ground running, but the lack of service to him is shocking. obviously Wissa's injury, but just in general, has it affected the mood in the camp? Ugh. Totally agree with that from Aaron. Totally agree. Awful. Yeah. He has to be held responsible. He has to hold some accountability to Eddie Howe, man, and the team and the coach and stuff for not seeing how that game was going to play out. It was there for the taking. We were 1-0 up. We had the advantage and we absolutely blew it. He hasn't had a good game in about 2 years. Now, I'm not Eddie Howe out, but if there was someone to replace him, this would be my choice as well. So many comments. I'm trying to run through them. If you want yours guaranteed to be read out, just whack a little super chat in there. We'll go on for another couple more minutes. Please do subscribe to the channel and drop a like if you haven't already. We're definitely far from the team we used to be like. And funny enough, it was Dan Burn that said we need to bring the shithousery back. We need to bring the dark arts back. Make life difficult for the opponents again. That's what he said. And you do wonder where that's gone. You know what I mean? Where on earth is the intensity? Is our identity? Where's the press? Where's the anger? Where's the hunger? Isn't there? It isn't there, and it's evident to see that it's costing us every single week. Get Gareth Southgate. I'll stay clear of that one, like Iriola, Glasner, Silva. Glasner's brilliant, like Iriola's as well, I suppose, like, but let's be honest, been horrible for over a year. It's not too far from the truth, to be honest. We haven't done well. Like I said before, when was the last time you could hold your head up and say Newcastle played well and had a resounding resulting performance? I don't know. Unless it is against fucking USG in the Champions League, you know what I mean? Who are, let's be honest, terrible. Matt, watch your live stream. You were confident we would get a result against the Markhams. What's your thoughts after that display? I'm still trying to be confident because I don't want to give in to the Mackhams. Do you know what I mean? What they've been nowhere for 7 years, and they come back and have a good 7 weeks for the new season. Good start of the new season, but it's a long season, man. So yeah, I'm just gonna hope that we do turn it around. I'm hoping that Wissa comes back in and Haaland's missed a pen. Someone said there. For fuck's sake. Is that right? Is it? Is that 0-0? That's just gonna make my day even worse if Man City feel a bit Liverpool and Haaland misses penalties. Fucking hell. Haaland's missed a pen. That's crack that like mint. Yeah, it just gets better and better. Yeah, I just hope that Wissa comes back as well. Mackham start falling off a little bit. We get some confidence and actually play football like we should do and could do because our team is better than Sunderland's team. So I'm still going to try and keep the faith on that part, Paul. Oh, I'm going to go watch the Man City Liverpool game. I'm just going to go watch that game and just fall asleep on the sofa, hopefully, because I just can't fucking be arsed. I haven't missed any super chats. I've missed one. Thanks very much for that one, RG Fox, who sends in a super sticker. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. You haven't seen the watch along, go back and listen to that if you want, because there was plenty of good stuff brought up in that one in terms of the game playing out and the immediate reaction to that terrible performance and result once again. Dear me. Come back later in the week. There won't be a podcast on Monday because I'm actually doing some work down in London, so we'll be back during the week with some content. Maybe some big outfall from this one, really. So stay tuned to the channel. hit the subscribe button. See you all later.